Good morning.
Of course, man. Appreciate you. So we just showed that interception. Your first interception of the season came at a clutch moment against Russell Wilson, who some say was playing like the league MVP. 4th and 1, 5-yard line. Kind of take us through that play and how good does it feel to get that type of win up against Seattle?
Yeah, it was 4th and 1 right after the TV timeout, or right after the timeout. So, kind of had time to kind of talk through the plays that we thought were coming, and swap boot was one of them, and you see it right there. Took away the flat route, his #1 option, and Jerry Hughes, who's been playing phenomenal for us all season, was able to put pressure in Russell Wilson's face and force him to throw the ball. He probably wished he had back, and I was able to make a play on it. So, huge win for our team, and just gave us even more momentum going into Arizona this weekend.
All right, Jordan, 2 weeks in a row now. I mean, 2 weeks ago it was the cam strip from Justin Zimmer. This week it was that play right there. Guys turned the Seahawks over 4 times. That's got to do something for a defense and a feeling. How different does it feel in the meeting rooms this week as maybe it did after the 2 losses to Tennessee and, of course, Kansas City?
Yeah, anytime, obviously, after losses, your sense of urgency's got to, be high. But, I think, throughout our losses, throughout our wins, we've just continued to ride the wave of the season. Understanding there's always going to be ebbs and flows throughout a game, throughout a season. There's always going to be adversity, but I think, our guys have done a great job as far as, like I said, riding that wave, never get too high, never get too low. And just continue to work and continue to get better. We understand as a defense we took a lot of heat, early on in the season, and we just continue to get better, continue to grind, and this weekend was a huge step for us, and as far as momentum for us to carry over, like I said, throughout the rest of the season.
Jordan Poyer waking up with Good Morning Football. Every week you tweet out 2 very simple words. Big dubs. Now, the only thing standing in your way of keeping that trend rolling is a guy named Kyler Murray, who poses quite a threat, he and his team, the Cardinals, in Week 10. What are your biggest challenges when you face a guy like Kyler Murray? And, I mean, he's just... he had 100 yards on the ground last week. He had 3 touchdowns through the air. How big of a threat is he to your defense?
Yeah, I mean, he's a fun player to watch, watching him on tape. He's got a lot of talent around him. He's got a lot of weapons around him, and I mean, the dude could throw, the dude could run, and I mean, he's probably the best sliding quarterback in the NFL. So, it's going to be a huge test for us, a huge test for our defense to go out there and be able to stop their passing attack. And obviously they got some really good running backs too. And but obviously stop their explosive passing attacks. DeAndre Hopkins and Christian Kirk, and being able to contain Kyler and keep him in the pocket. But like I said earlier, he's a fun guy to watch on tape, man. And he makes a lot of plays with his arm and with his legs. So it's going to be a huge test for us this week.
Well, you mentioned his arm, Jordan. Everybody knows Kyler Murray used to play baseball. Last week, it was Russell Wilson. Everybody knows Russell Wilson used to play baseball. I'm not sure everybody knows we are currently talking to a one-time 42nd round pick by the Miami Marlins in the MLB draft. I'm talking about you, my man, an MLB draft pick. Tell us what it was like growing up being a dual sports star. And if you had chosen baseball, are we talking to a big leaguer right now?
I do believe if I did choose the baseball route, I would be in the MLB. But no, man, I grew up playing all sports. My family, my mom played volleyball in college. My dad played football in college, and my mom actually was the athlete. She played volleyball, basketball, and softball, all 3 sports in college. And so competitive family growing up. My younger brother played all the sports, so. It was pretty cool to be able to meet all the people that I was able to meet. I actually played 2 years at Oregon State before finally decided, I had, football was my path. So definitely do believe I would be in the league right now if I chose the baseball route. But I'm blessed to be where I'm at right now.
No doubt, and yet it could have gone incredible places. We have high school stats for you, dude.
What?
Freshman year in high school, I imagine you're about 15 years old. You had 12 home runs. We went deep, just wait. And then you guys went in to win the state title. So you obviously hit for power. Let me give you a hypothetical. Jordan Poyer steps in right now into the batter's box, all right? You get in your stance, you got your gloves on, you're looking towards the fences. What is the one NFL player who you would like to be on the mound dealing to you that you can hit a jack off of? Who's on the mound in the NFL pitching to you?
Oh, that's a good question. You kind of limited it with pitching. You know, I think you got to go. You know, Jameis Winston obviously went out and was drafted out to the MLB. You know, he was actually a pitcher too. I think Pat Mahomes was I think he played a little pitcher. I think he was more of an outfielder. You know, I know he had a strong arm out in the outfield. Dan Marino was a pitcher. He was drafted to pitch.
Hey.
I didn't know if you guys knew that. He was a pitcher. You know, but I'd probably have to throw Jameis Winston out there on the mound, and I'd have to take him deep one time. No disrespect to him.
No
I'm
doubt.
sure he's got some stuff, but I think I got him though.
No doubt, throwing strikes and eating dubs. All right, so some sad news. Josh Allen's grandmother passed away on Saturday, but something happened with that Bills fan base. They donated over $250,000 in her honor to a local children's hospital. What does it mean to you guys as a team to have that kind of support from a fan base that you can't even have contact with because they're not in the stands?
Yeah, you know, obviously our thoughts and prayers have been with Josh these past couple of days. You know, for what he's going through, and you know, for him to go out there and play the way he did on Sunday, you know, speaks you know so highly about him. You know, it's an emotional game for him, emotional game. You know, emotional for everybody after the game, seeing how he was. But you know, to see our fans, you know, back him and really, it really speaks volume about, you know, who they are, not as just fans, but as people in the community of Buffalo, and you know, really who Bills Mafia is. You know, not a lot of people outside of Buffalo, you know, understand, you know, what Bills Mafia really is. But you know, these are the best fans, you know, in the country. You know, they've been through the ups, they've been through the downs, but you know, they're gonna ride with you through it all, man. And you know what they did over the weekend, you know, with Josh and his grandmother, really, like I said, just speaks volume about, you know, the type of fans that Bills